And so we have to be creative
Yeah.
in how we even get in the space with them.
Yeah.
We have to be creative. And when you open your mouth, they gonna know that that ain't nothing you read from this paper in no Bible. They gonna know. They gonna hear your story, and that's when the influence gonna begin to flow. I want to keep talking, but he ready to talk. I can feel it. Go ahead.
Just jumping in and chiming in, man, and fitting into that, man. You made impact on a lot of lives. You know what I'm saying? And you've always been a great guy. You've always been a great guy. So I mean, and we as a community, we have to realize that great guys have challenges too.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just talked to an officer this morning, at the gym. He got some challenges he got to face.
Yeah.
But as a community, we got to love on him.
Yeah.
I had to be a friend because I've been knowing this guy for a long time and let him know, hey, man, you're a great guy. You're a great guy. Because I was at church Easter Sunday, this past Easter. And so the pastor preached about Jesus, and he preached about him being on the cross and him being humiliated and all of those different things. But he talked about how the devil really wanted to get to Jesus's mind. He wanted to humiliate him and get to his mind, wanted him to denounce what his belief was and what he came to do. And so, and he related that back to us. He said, man, we face so many challenges, and what the devil wants is your mind. And even though you're going through whatever you're going through, don't let him take your mind. And I gave that guy that same analogy this morning. He's not a black guy. When it comes out of the community and we're in the military, it's people are people. And so our job is to build them up and tell him, don't let the devil get your mind, man. Wherever you're going through, don't let him steal your joy. Don't let him get your mind. Because if you can make it through and still got your right mind, you can still do amazing things, And so that's one of the things, because we got a lot of toxic everything out here, toxic examples of what masculinity look like, toxic examples of what you should be doing as far as in relationships, toxic examples of what type of woman you should get, toxic examples all over the place, and it's promoted.
Yeah.
Society promotes that. They not promoting the working guy.
Yeah.
You don't see too many carpenters on a billboard talking about follow me.
No.
You see guys that's making it rain in the club, and you see the ladies bouncing around half naked.
Yeah.
All of those things you don't see, and a lot of people that fell back. I went to a meeting the other day about community gun violence. Me and you was at the meeting. And what I explained to those folks is all the money you just spent, all the meetings and hundreds of hours and thousands, hundreds of thousands of hours of meetings that we done been at together. It ain't working.
Yeah.
Gun violence is up all around the country. I don't care if you in I got a brother-in-law, he from Pace, Mississippi. If you just walk off the porch, you see all your neighbors. That's how small it is.
Yeah.
But it's gun violence in Pace, Mississippi. How has gun violence got to Pace, Mississippi?
Yeah.
I was listening to Al Sharpton's show, and a lady called in and said she was from some little small town in Louisiana. And she said, we're a community of 300 people. She said, but it's a murder every week. But the powers to be know exactly what they're doing, strategically doing it, promoting this stuff to our people and affecting their lives and their future. But folks, we're in a society now where you don't get time enough to fail. Yeah. We want to slam everybody. Point the finger at everybody, and what we don't do is like to do a man in the mirror check, and we don't like to be transparent and say, you know what, I'm failing in some areas too. We don't see the value in people. We talk a lot about value. We don't see the value in people to tell them that. And so everybody at that meeting, when I was at that meeting, I had to tell them, hey man, I don't have solutions right at this moment, but I tell you what. The last 10 years of work, 15 years of work, it seems like we ain't been doing no work because it ain't been working. because we're not. I don't think we're addressing the grassroots issues. First of all, we got to acknowledge that there's powers to be that's leading us down this destructive path, and we got to be able to call that out. We got to be able to tell Rista Records, Aristotle Records, Interscope Records, Sony. You're no longer gonna promote this type of message, man, to my people, man.
And we have to start holding each other accountable. Not saying that we have to come at them bogusly or nothing like that. Like I said earlier, I love Snoop. Man, I would go see him right now because I can,
I saw him when he came here, took care of his people.
But it's like we have to take the responsibility. We have to stop allowing that poison because we know better. Now that I know better, I can't allow it. I mean, I have to do my best, and I'm not saying it in a harsh way because we got to figure it out together. Yeah, you know. And the thing is that the influence is the biggest power that artists have. It ain't the money, it's the influence, and the people have realized that, and they're using these people to influence us in these directions. And the problem I see is, I used to hear this all the time with a lot of our black celebrities. Well, I do this, but just because you don't see me do it. That don't mean I ain't a good person. But we gotta we gotta see you do it, brother. Because we the see because it's about your influence is the greatest thing you got.
Yeah, but you hit me all in the eye because I hear that too here, but I don't see it. And so in the last 2 days, I've really been trying to humble myself so I don't come off as bashing the next person. But bro, I've been watching this video for 10 years and I ain't seen nothing change. I hear what you're saying. Yeah. But it ain't no results. Yeah. And when I call somebody out on that, I'm bashing them. So I gotta be more creative and more loving, right? So that, man, you always bashing the next man. I gotta work on that because people's perception is their reality. But as a military man, when I ran the Army recruiting station here in Champaign for 4 years, I got 7 recruiters. I'm responsible from Paxton to Arcola and from Oakwood to Muhammad. 20-some schools in Parkland and U of I. I can't be with all 7 recruiters. But you got 30 days to put 2 people in, and it's been 3 months and you ain't putting nobody in, and you want me to hear your story talking about you trying? You finna get fired. And your family, y'all finna get up out of here if you don't do better. That's the way we roll. We need results. My boss ain't trying to hear them stories. Hey, man, can I get a suit on credit, man? I'll pay you next year, man. Come on, Hub, you got all these suits in there. My landlord is not trying to hear that story. He want results, and they come in the form of Benjamin Franklin. And so I thank God for Dr. Peppers and Dr. Parsons. I met with Peppers yesterday, Parsons today, because I don't want to be. I'm here to help, man. I'm not here to. I'm here to build. But we got, like he say, man. We've been watching this video a long time. But we have to do something different. And then when I start telling folks about things that's working for me, now bragging, now it's all about me. No, listen to me. This is how it works. We're gonna build a $15,000 to $20,000 studio. We're gonna let the middle school and high schools leave at a certain time. Then we're gonna bring the shooters in. Now you leave the weed and you leave the guns out there, but I want y'all in here. We're not charging nothing. Y'all make music and we're gonna vibe and build relationships. What you want on your pizza? We ain't drinking no beer, but what you like, Mountain Dew or Sprite? Right? Where everybody can get a studio, yeah, but everybody ain't gonna roll with them like I'm rolling with them. They gonna have a studio and it's gonna be empty. And so, but I'm having to, like he say, look in the mirror to make sure that I'm not coming off as one who don't want the community, because that's the only reason I'm here.
You know what? I think that's important what you just said, because it's like we all, even amongst the people who want to help and do better, we all have our own opinion of what we think works. What works for us.
Yes.
So it's sometimes when we can't get along. Sometimes we
Yeah.
got to figure, even against myself, we got to figure out how we get along.
Yeah.
And how I can listen to what you got to say.
Yeah.
And tell you how it worked for me.
Yeah.
And because it's always a learning process.
Yeah.
We ain't figured it out. It ain't been figured out yet.
Yeah.
So we are
real quick, because he read it. I want to say this real quick. So as an Army recruiter in Gary, Indiana, I was the #1 recruiter in the state of Illinois and Indiana. Your dad was up in the Mets kicking. He had his feet kicked back, telling when we come in process. But I was an amazing recruiter, right? But I didn't do it the way they taught me. I did it the Dunbar Court where I had napkins. I wrote on paper towels. Hey man, I'll let you real quick. I wasn't a formal guy. But when I won top recruiter and they moved me here to run the whole station, 7 recruiters, I couldn't teach them Hub way. I had to teach them by the book and then let their personality break down. And so I'm sharp enough to know Dream ain't gonna move like not on my watch. Now with me and Dream are partnering because he has some gifts and I have some gifts, and our birthday's on the same day. But I don't expect Tracy to move the way I move, right? And we gotta understand that we move different. We gotta respect the fact that we all move different. But at the end of the day, there's gotta be some results.
That's what we get.
Yeah, you gotta have some results. When I roll back to what we started that little conversation off about is that being able to show the results, right? And so that example, right, of what a non-for-profit organization that's contributing to the community look like. I had a pastor that told me that one time. He said he got a pretty large church in this community, and he said, we do a lot behind the scenes. And I'm like, well, you got to get out here and let people know what you're doing. And he didn't think the same way I did. He felt as though, just do it behind the scenes and it was good enough. But what Karen Sims told me, if the people don't see your facility, your organization being relevant, then it's non-existent. You don't offer anything. And so in that meeting that we were in the other day, and we were talking about gun violence, and we listened to the stories, and Karen gave an exquisite way of describing trauma, right? I mean, she talked about some things that was hitting me straight upside the head because I'm dealing directly through the funeral home experience. I'm dealing directly with the deceased. I'm dealing directly with the folks that's dealing with immediate trauma and those families, them babies. And so when Peppers got in, he commented and he said what the mother was saying to protect her son, and all of that type of stuff. What I was thinking in my head, I'm having flashbacks of all these young folks. And I'm in tears. But I had to hit Karen on the side and said, you know what? I might need some trauma support. Right. I might need to talk to somebody. Right. See, a lot of times, black folks, we don't say that.
I go every month.
It's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. We ain't saying that because we always want to present ourselves as we always got it all together. And we got to show up to every scene at every moment like we got it together. That's that fictitious lifestyle that folks like to show up. Hey, look, I got it together. I got big knots. I got big rims. I got, my chick look like this. You see the girls with the eyelashes and, all the makeup and the quick weave and, and all that. Not knowing they tore up in the inside.
And that's
got trauma that we've been dealing with that my grandmama never addressed. And she put that spell on me. But she put it on her mama. And then her mama put it down on me. You know what I'm saying? My daddy or his daddy, the grandfather, he was dealing with inside trauma. And nobody never talked about that. And then I was listening to somebody on the radio this morning talk about reparations, right? Reparation. The Biden administration ain't talking about reparations. But we owe our own selves some reparations. To be able to go back,
that's good.
To be able to go back and say, you know what, grandson, I didn't really, teach dad the right way. Now that I see it, the picture a little bit clearer, we just go off in life and go to our grave and never really fix the problems that we messed up. Because we got people messed up in the community, man. And the reason why we so frustrated, because a lot of people's normal ain't our normal. They've been living an abnormal life for 30, 40, 50 years. I go to some people's house and be like, oh, whoa, let me hear a bit about it, man.
Yeah.
I ain't know, you thinking it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
To me, bro, are y'all living like this? You living like peasants.
Man. Mm-hmm.
But to me, I'm ready to bounce. To them, they ready to go to sleep. They can lay down and go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, so we got to be able to understand that there's some things in society that we have promoted to put people in the positions that they're in.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to have that compassion to say, hey, man, I'm partially responsible for this.
Yeah, I believe. See, you know what? I'm afraid of reparations. To be honest with you, I think they're necessary. We deserve them, but I'm afraid that we're not organized enough. We don't have leadership. I'm afraid that we would get reparations and give it all right back. And then you know what? After they gave you the reparations, you won't want to hear nothing else. I don't want to hear nothing else.
Discipline is here. Discipline.
Yeah.
Discipline is. Go ahead.
No. So I don't know if would reparations fix the problem? I feel like they could if we was disciplined. If we had a direction we were headed in as a people. But we don't have that, and I think we need to get that together. And once we get that together, then we can fight more for the reparations. I think there is a lot of people organized and together, but the promotion of it is not there. So with the internet, I'm seeing more and more brothers and people out there who doing great things. You know what I'm saying, and advancing for the advancement of our people. But we got to come together, man. Like we need a real, true leadership. Not no rappers who ain't never dedicated their life to the advancement of their people, but and we need the rappers because they influences everything. But we need them. But where's the promotion? We ain't had Dr. King since, man. We ain't had I mean, what has been done since Dr. King or Malcolm been gone?
Oh man, I bet can't neither one of us tell us right now who is the national president for the NAACP.
I can't tell you.
Who is the national president for the Urban League? I bet I can ask my audience that. I bet I can ask social media that. And I bet a bunch of people can't tell me none of that. Who is the national leader for the Church of God in Christ?
I know that.
I know you know that.
Yeah.
I know you know that. I know you because they got to write their check.
No, I'm not coaching.
They got to put their name on that check and send that check on your ties in your office.
Yeah, I'm not coaching, but I know that. I try to stay in tune on the spiritual. But I submit to you, from the White House to the crack house, we're lacking in leadership. Yeah. And it's so frustrating to me. I mean, I was in a couple of meetings. These last couple of days, and man, and I just got to slow down and
you're a soldier, man.
Relax.
But you're a soldier.
And I can't look at Champaign-Urbana like I look at the Army. Because it's night and day, man. And it's so much. And as a leader, if you lead and ain't nobody following, you just taking a walk. So ain't no sense for me saying I'm a leader, they don't know what to do, so forget them. No, you're not a leader unless you can reach down and grab them and massage them and coach them into what you do in your sleep. Do you hear me? What I do in my sleep, they don't have it. But God is study telling me that's why I sent you. I didn't send you to tell me what they don't know. I sent you to tell them, and not tell them, show them, connect, you said earlier, influence them to know it like you know it in your sleep. That's what I'm getting graded on. And the thing is, I'm gonna say this, and I told this to a young man today. I was on my way back from my daughter's graduation, and my kids, everybody had pumped me up. I was coming back here to sell my store. I was making deals on the way all the way back to Texas, and I got to Effingham and that cross. And God said, if you leave Champaign-Urbana, I'm going to take my hand off you. Really? I done lined all this stuff up. I'm an hour from making some stuff up. And so I said, do me a favor, Lord. because I'm not gonna go against you, but do not let me rot in that city that don't want change. Right? Man, where Hub come from, man? Man, he come out of nowhere. Man, I've been back here since 2008 putting in work, moving in silence. Not just, backbone of Black Home, we finna do it. We ain't done it in 2 years. But man, we've been doing it a long time, and people's like, what? Well, I never heard this. Yeah, we've been around. We've been around. And so, but true leadership is displayed in chaos, not calmness. Yeah. Anybody can lead when everything going good. But when it's jacked up and they looking for somebody to blame.
I'm and because funny how time flies when we're having fun, man. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things, Brother Hub, the reason why it's so hard for you and hard for me to turn a deaf ear or not see what we see, is because we was taught, don't leave no soldier behind.
Never leave a fallen. See,
a lot of people can make it to their destination and watch a lot of people fall along the way. So we try to bring somebody with us. And that's hard to do in a community like this here. We've been watching people, and we've been watching money getting dividended and programs go forth and ain't connecting with the people that really, really need the program. We've been watching money that go down the waste, and then we go see them go back on TV, and they say we need some more money. COVID just put a whole lot of money out here in the street. People got more money, they ain't going to work. The programs got money, they say we don't even know what to do with all the money. So, which is called, which we learned through economic conversation, which we gonna go down that road, is called inflation. Because too much, everybody got money, supply and demand.
You gotta get the money back.
Supply and demand. There's so much demand, but supply ain't catching up. Yeah. And people saying, man, where my stuff at? They tell Amazon, where you at? Because everybody got money. So we dictate the pace. Too many people dictate the pace. Our economy don't work off everybody dictating the pace. Okay. And so, and then my other thing for it is that mentorship.
I got a question for you real quick. Hold it out on mentorship. What happened when we was running and old Big Joe fall back? And we on the third mile, Big Joe about 500 meters. What did the whole unit have to do?
Oh, we already know. If we was running as a small platoon, or if we was running as the whole unit, as the whole company, platoon, 12 guys, 15 guys, men and women, or if we was 300 strong, we got to go back and get him.
Can't leave him.
We got to bring him back.
So now 3 mile run is a 5 mile run because he started falling back, and we got to turn around and go get him.
And we did it so repetitious that it became part of our mental capacity that we can't leave nobody behind. Right. See, we're in a society where it's taught win, lose, win, lose. That's what our society teaches. Win, lose. Corporate world, win. Consumer, lose every time. And we got to change our mentality because that's where leadership come into play at. And we spend our most intricate moments in spaces around people we feel comfortable with, which is i.e. pastor, whoever. And he ain't teaching the right stuff, how to win, lose. We supposed to be teaching everybody that's under this leadership, win, win. Win, win. Not keep hitting me upside the head, keep beating me down with the word, talking about I ain't doing right. I'm not doing right because you're not teaching right. You're not giving me. I wrote down here earlier, present your body a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable, which is your reasonable service.
Come on, preacher.
Okay? I've been going to church all my life, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want you to forget your mentorship.
And so I'm not going to forget it, because the biggest gift that you can leave all, and I told you this here when I was personally telling you about your dad. I said, don't make you feel bad now. I said, but you let him know how important mentorship is. Passing the baton and being able to physically see passing the baton and watch how his work.
Yeah, watch how his vision is carried on.
It's nothing better, Teddy, than we got Teddy heavily involved into the stock market.
Yeah.
And then we start teaching Teddy the stock market and how it works, what candlesticks look like, what support and resistance look like, and being able to see him teaching in the class, and all I got to do is lay back lay back.
Mhm.
Roland ain't got to do nothing but lay back
Mhm.
and watch Teddy do his thing
Mhm.
in 9 months.
Mhm.
Living example
Mhm.
of what this young man's capacity. He never knew that he could do what he do.
He didn't know nothing about
I
training
never-
the trainer.
I never knew I could do what I'm doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
yeah.
in society and what we're structured
Mhm.
and the systems that's teaching us
Mhm.
teaches us you're smart, you're stupid.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Instead of being creative in the way,
Mhm.
because we need workers.
Mhm.
I understand how the system works. We need workers.
Yeah.
So we need this segment of people
Yeah.
to be stupid.
Yeah.
So we put a grade point average on them.
Yeah.
And you're always a D.
Yeah.
You start thinking that in you know, in 5th grade, they tell you you was a D student.
Yeah.
You's a D student.
Yeah.
So all through life, you've been a D
Yeah.
student
Yeah.
until you run up on a Rolling Hut.
Yeah.
That now show
Yeah.
me TD Ameritrade, and then only 3% of the world know trading strategies the way we know it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell your business because you
I
don't
would
want
say
to tell your
1%.
business. I'm gonna tell your business because you don't want to tell your business. Me and him having economic conversation
Mhm.
today.
Mhm.
We got a practice account, you know, where TD Ameritrade gives us a $200,000 practice account. So that's what me and the rest of the students do.
You still never beat me in that. Just
And we can that was market watch.
It don't matter.
We didn't advance as big.
Yeah.
And so we're going back and forth today because Netflix had earnings.
Okay.
Most of the folks that's over here won't even know what earnings is.
Mhm.
Okay, because we just get bumped upside the head and we don't even
Yeah.
know why we got bumped upside the head.
Yeah.
You know, because nobody's lead.
Yeah.
We just all follow.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
That's good.
Netflix had earnings today,
Mhm.
right? And so in the earnings call early morning, we start getting reports out. So through our social media or whatever you watch or whatever you listen to, CNBC or whatever the case it is, boom, it went from 325, was about 325 a share.
I believe so.
I think it was somewhere up there.
Yeah, close.
And it dropped down to 214. Well,
Yeah.
we say, well, what happens in Ukraine? It got nothing to do with us. Well, yeah, it do. Yeah, it do, because what happened is that we ended up getting up out of Russia. We forced Netflix to get out of Russia. That was 700,000 viewers.
Mhm.
Then Netflix went up on their price. So now you got folks that's on a budget, because everybody on the stream budget, you know. So now they said, I'm not paying no $19 for no streaming service. When I can go to Tubi or YouTube, or you know, we could share Netflix. As a matter of fact, you get the subscription, you got some money in your bank account, you get the subscription, and me and Teddy gonna piggyback off you.
Yeah.
And so you got people cutting back,
Right.
getting creative.
Mhm.
And so what happened today, he seen the move. He set it up in his practice account, and then he was able to take a $1,500 investment, $1,500, and make $30,000 in his trading account, practice account. Now, y'all, I want you to go get that right, practice account.
Come
now.
robbing.
Yeah, practice account.
Come on,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Catch no smoke. It was
Yeah.
practice account.
Yeah.
You know, practice money.
But
But
practice
if
makes-
we could teach
yeah.
that, that's teaching men how to not how to be fishermen.
Mhm.
And that's biblical.
Mhm.
Be fishermen of men. Teach them how to get out there and really make it for themselves. If we knew what to do with money,
Mhm.
yeah, they tell us to go get some money, but we only follow them Black Friday,
Mhm.
you know, sale on Sunday, all of those type of things. So we study, rinse, and repeat.
Mhm.
And that's the reason why we not doing no better than our grandparents.
Mhm.
Because everybody starts from the same place as nowhere. And so, I mean, our economic conversation, 2008 housing crisis.
Mhm.
Man, you took the real estate class.
Mhm.
What did our instructor call this minority program
Yeah.
that was going
They
on
had a code.
way before?
Yeah, they had a code for it.
Do you
I
remember?
don't remember, but I remember we jumped all over it.
Well, we it's only a few blacks in the class, right?
Ninja.
Yeah.
I told it to Teddy.
They told me
Yeah.
that
It was called the
okay.
Ninja program.
Yeah.
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 We never knew nothing about it.
Yeah.
And the people that's in these vital areas,
Yeah. Yeah.
they never told us that look like us.
Mhm.
That's in our church
Mhm.
or in our community groups or in our barbershops.
Mhm.
They never came back and told us,
Mhm.
hey man, it's a minority program out there. And all you gotta do is say, go to the bank and tell them what you make.
Mhm.
Tell them your income. Oh, my name is Sean Williams. I make $200,000 and I blah, 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 blah. And then they give you a house based on what you said, not on what you proved,
Yeah.
not off your tax returns and all this stuff, just off of what you said.
Mhm.
Well, other folks knew the program was out there. So, and it was giving houses to everybody.
Mhm.
That's what caused the 2008 housing crisis.
Mhm.
So now, when that happened, we go back to reparations. What happened is that, so when Obama got in there, Obama, like he faced with this crisis. So his economic leaders came in and said, hey, look, we can afford to give every American, 365 million Americans in America, we give every American $1 million to boost the economy back up because they know we don't know what to do with our own money. And they would have got their money back, right back now. But it probably would have caused so much chaos and confusion because I don't want to, I'm going to run through my money. Then I look at HUD. I look over there and tell you, you still got your million? You got your million? It'd have been so much crime going on throughout America because we got this freedom to do what we want.
Not to mention the crime of people coming at your money. I'm talking about legal. Legitimately coming to you with opportunities.
How you doing, Walmart?
Yeah.
Slip and fall. I'm slipping and fall in your driveway. You know?
I mean, they gonna come to you like, you know, like the insurance man back in the old days used to come to Big Mama and man,
all kind of
giving you this opportunity, and that's the problem. When we was having this conversation, a lot of times we don't believe a lot of things because we've always been the people that was prayed upon. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you know,
So we skeptical.
Yeah, so we lagging on insurance policies, but now that we got brothers like this who in there and know how they go, now we need now we know we're missing it.
We can empower people with information. Empowerment. Yeah, we can empower people.
Like, you got crypto coming up. It's gonna be a lot of scammers, people in there out to get you, and so it's gonna be a distrust. It's a distrust already because of this. You know what I'm saying? We've always been to pray.
We so far behind the economic conversation hub. I mean, like right now, everybody. I had a brother today when I went to the gas station. Hey, brother, man, hey, what's going on, man? Let me hold something. Man, you've been saying that for 3 years. I let you hold something for the last 3 years. I said, man, every job in town hiring. Now, what type of person in your mind you think that you're going to be able to play me every time you see me? You know, I mean, how do you think you're going to manipulate the system? And here I am getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning and going to work to do what I'm supposed to do for my family. And you get the luxury. Of not even paying attention to your family, not even trying to be some significant vessel, productive citizen in the community. You get the luxury of that. Come on, man. And you got to call that out in your community.
You know,
pick up your bed and walk, man.
We had a sunrise service at 6 a.m. Sunday. And First Lady Perry, Elder Perry's wife, showed up. And after the preaching and everything, she got up to testify. But she said something that was so powerful, man. I cannot. It was right in line with the message. What she said, Teddy, is how can we sleep at a time like this? Mm-hmm. Man, that thing hit me like a ton of bricks. I had in my purpose to go Facebook Live that night and preach it, but we ended up spending the evening over with the in-laws. But she said, how can we be asleep at a time like this, man? And that thing hit me like a ton of bricks with all that's going on in the world. And it brought me back to where when I first moved here in 2008, and Sean was taking me to all the meetings, and I'm laying back, I ain't saying a word, but I got all the military, I got intelligence on this side, I got executing on, and I'm watching everything. We get in the car, and Sean just going on, and I let him talk, and I said, it's leadership. Oh, no, it ain't leadership. I said, bro, it's leadership, man. They sleep at the wheel, right? Maybe a year and a half, 2 years later, Sean called me at midnight. He said, it's leadership.
You know, man, when you just said that, you know what got in my spirit, man, is being woke and sleep at the same time. How can you be woke and sleep at the same time? It was a big cliche going on with everybody living my best life. You living your best life and your worst life at the same time. And that's how the devil tricked your mind. Back the old saints would call it a reprobated mind. You confused. You don't know if you coming or going. You wonder, you think you're being successful, but you're not. You're being unsuccessful at the same time. And I'm talking about me. Me, oh Lord, standing in the prayer. I'm thinking I'm on the right page. And I didn't know the stuff that we know now. We meet every week. And the sad part about it is that it's a free class to the community. You know, I pay this guy to come in, hey man, look, come on in and teach the community for free. You know, and we don't find the value in free. I mean, you just talked about it. We just talked about it in the car. We don't find the value in free. We gonna take advantage of Brother Hub because if it's for free. But then we put $1,000 on it, and then we found out, we say, well, man, he charged $1,000. Man, let me see if I can. I know Brother Hood. Let me see if I can get his services for $800. You know, and then we feel good about the 800. I'm gonna tell you, this is the way I did. I know a lot of y'all won't be transparent. I'm gonna tell you straight up. When I was selling dogs, when I was selling pit bulls back in the day, you know, I found out how people do you. I ain't want number $150 for my dog, you know, $150. But they come to you with $75. I boost my dogs up with some pictures of Big Boy and all this here in the background. Oh, no, I need $800. Just for Big Boy them being in the background in the shop, you know, I need $800. You know what I'm saying? And now you come to me for $500. Bet. Now I got over an abundance of what I really wanted. You see what I'm saying? But that's just the nature of the people that you're dealing with and how screwed our minds is. Same dog, same litters, you know, but that's how it's, and that is what they do to us at the store. We buy things overvalued, and we think we're getting something, but we really get nothing. We do to it as in life. We do it through education. You think you're getting something? Oh, I'm a PhD student. Now you in retail. You're a retail clerk because ain't no jobs in that industry that you done spent all that money. I was listening to a conversation this morning. How folks are saying that was a scam. That's this, that's that.
Who was the guy? Was it Jeff Bezos? I think it was Jeff Bezos.
Amazon.
I put it on Facebook. It wasn't Bezos. It was one of them other rich guys.
Mark Zuckerberg.
But he said it's crazy that in society, 18-year-old can get $100,000 student loan, but he can't get a $20,000 business loan. It lets you know what I'm saying? But I want to give a 1-minute excerpt of my sunrise Easter service. The title was "Why Seek the Living Among the Dead," right? And that's a regular Easter speech, and I'm gonna be real quick. And what that made me do is flip that, Teddy. We seeking the living in all the wrong things. Kind of like you said about Snoop Dogg and all that. We seeking the living in all the wrong things. Everything we seeking the living with is dead. What's the thing everybody ODing off of? Fentanyl. We looking at fentanyl. You know what I'm saying? Everything we seeking to live, and I'm turned up. But everything we seeking the living thing is killing us. Everything that we seeking to live and feel good and all that is killing us.
And you know what? Like by us going out there buying these certain things, man, we throwing our future away. We throwing our future away every day for spending all our money on them brands, and we making somebody else's future. We giving somebody else their dream. Somebody who don't care about you either. Somebody who not putting money back into nothing you love or care about, nothing in your community. And that's, man, it's information is important. Where to go get the money, but where you spending your money is if not more important, but just as important to our community. You got to spend it with Soups by Soldier. You know what I'm saying? You got to put that money. Soups, he like you. Gucci don't like you.
He gonna be able to give it to the kids' football team or the baseball team. But me and Hub done already made a pat on that. If you never shop with us in business, and don't come asking us for no money. I just had somebody flood my timeline, man. I would need a donation. What you think? I had to go back to what my grandmama used to say. What you think? Money grown trees?
And I ain't gonna blast them because they said they're gonna get it to me. But man, I gave it to Cotillion $200. I can't even get a book. Come on now, y'all gotta work with me. Y'all gotta at least give me a book. I could have got the ticket for 40 and got a book, but I can't get a book.
No, brother.
But she gonna take care of it.
You know, brother Hub, this is what I always say in community meetings and stuff like that. Because we always going to ask people for their money to put on what we need. what we need, what we require to survive. And I always say this here too: nobody respects the broke person at the table. Okay, you got to come with something. I don't care if you don't come with some sweat equity. I'm willing to put some time in, sweat equity, time in. I don't got tangible cash, but I got time. And you got to be able to put some sweat equity in some stuff to be able to change things, you know. And so, but we always come with a to-go plate instead of to come help make a plate. And we got to change that mentality, bro. We got to be able to come together as a people and be able to say, and I got to have enough love for you to see you and your kids be successful. I got to see another love for this brother to see him be successful. And then if it's something that he's not doing right, I got to have enough love and creativeness to come to him and say, hey, brother, maybe you should try this here. Not beat him down for where he's at, build him up from where he's at. See, we just had a meeting of the minds, PhDs, and everybody got degrees, and they in there boxing. And I'm the guy that ain't got no degree, but I'm community guy, and I've been around this stuff for a minute, and I'm trying to get everybody back.
Jimmy Jr. I ain't gonna trip on that $200 something. Let me get that.